Now I've selected everything. And we're live. Excuse me. Thank you everyone for coming. It's TVP UK. We're going through the TVP FAQs like we have been doing lately, if anyone's been keeping up. This week we're doing FAQ 25, 26, and 27. And we've got Mick, Huey, and Dan here with me. I'm Aidan. So welcome everyone, and thanks for coming. Thanks for watching on the videos. Alright, so the first question we're going to look at today is an interesting question. Question 25. What main concepts do you keep in mind whenever you design structures for transportation? Huey, Dan, do you have some thoughts maybe on that?
Like, for example, the transportation needs to all be running on renewable energy.
That's good. Got any things I had to Huey? Maybe not. All right. Well, me and Mick will go through our ones, and if you have any more to say afterwards, then you can. For me, my answer is very, very simple. I outlined 4 major areas, or there's probably more. I said sustainability, functionality, modularity, and upgradability. Now, upgradability isn't a real word, but I hope you get what I mean. It's designed from the start that you can replace parts. It's basically the same as modular. You make it in 4 different parts, and you make it so you can upgrade each little bit as you go along, as improvements go, rather than what we're facing now in terms of cities today to city of TVP, which is it's so entrenched and so kind of outdated that you're doing a clean wipe and starting from scratch. So we're going to try and avoid that in the future.
Yeah, that was a good answer, that Aidan. I've got the function of the structure or transportation. So can the object have more than one function, and test it to ensure that it serves its function well.
Yeah, testing's really good. I forgot to say about that. What tests with your designs? So do we have any more kind of input on that before we read the real answer? No? Cool. Dan, I'm going to, and exclude you from reading out the real answers because we want to get a really clear recording, and yours is still quite glitchy. Sorry. I can kind of hear, we can hear you for discussion, but for pure recording quality, we'll skip you out for the moment.
Like a one sentence.
Yeah. Hopefully it's only a short answer. I haven't seen these. So what is it? What concepts do you have in mind? That is good. So, Mick or Huey, shall we read one answer out each today?
Yeah, I can do another one if you want.
Okay. Would you mind muting both myself and Dan before you do this?
Yes, Sal.
Sorry, Dan.
Okay, so we've got TVP FAQ 25. What main concepts do you keep in mind whenever you design structures or transportation? And the answer is on the website: keeping it simple and efficient, the availability of resources, and the methods for carrying out structural design. Aidan, I don't know how to unmute you, mate. It's like I go on to mute it. Well, I go on to. Oh, there you go. I still can't hear you though. Why can't I hear you?
I pressed it twice.
Oh yeah.
My mouse works for a second. Cool, thanks. That was a good answer. So yeah, the one thing that I think we all kind of missed out is availability of resources. This is a phrase that's kind of used a lot in TVP.
Yeah.
And obviously one of the major factors actually when designing things. Designing things for designing real world cities, designing real world problems. A lot of the architecture and designs that are out there now are not necessarily based on resources because there isn't resources. It's kind of an abstract, this is what we could do kind of thing. And that's probably that's at least where I kind of didn't really mention resources because this question seems to be more about the abstract designs that are already out.
They said keep it simple as well, but I think what you said about the modular, being able to replace things, that made sense to me.
That to me is one of the key things of the Venus project that I really like. It's this idea of emergent systems rather than established systems.
Yeah.
And generally, those are termed in terms of government or social constructs. It's the same with actual systems as well. As a software developer myself, we're more in an emergent system these days, especially for mobile phones. How many times does an app update in its life? Lots and lots and lots of times. That's the idea of emergent apps. Whereas old computer software, you got it on a CD-ROM, and that was it forever.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of changing in methodology in the space that I know is going on a little bit today, at least. Anyway. Cool. That was quite a nice easy question. Next question, number 26. Can you briefly describe the processes used in designing the circular city? What factors were most important? Dan or Huey, want to have a stab at that?
Well, I remember Jack saying he was young, and I think he saw a gear in the table and thought that he realized that a circular city, whenever you go around the city, you can always get back in a straight line, so it's more efficient and stuff like that.
Yeah, when you go, if you just keep walking, you'll get back to the same point that you started at, so you can't get lost.
Yes, exactly.
That's good. Good. To me, this question is asking about how he's designed it this certain way, rather than what's the benefits of the circular city. There's lots and lots of things we can talk about there, and really, that's more of a benefit, which is fine. We can maybe have a little discussion afterwards about that question. This is a bit more interesting, a bit more in detail, I think, in terms of our knowledge of what TVP is saying. Okay, so my answer to this question about the process, which is you would need to ask Jack. It's actually a question that I asked in one of the really old Q&A sessions where Jack and Roxanne were actually there. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the answer or which session it's in. So it's probably out there in a video somewhere, a direct response. But I said, if you're interested, please look on YouTube for a 2-part video called Circle City and the Venus Project. Or on thevenusproject.com, there's a section called Total City Systems. And the reasons for this design are included within those materials.
Yeah, I just guessed. Like I thought maybe like the functions, the amount of people it could support, the needs of the culture, the most efficient system. And I said what Yuri said about not getting lost. But yeah, they're like more of, well, some of that's more of benefits, like.
Yeah. It really depends on what point TVP is at when you're asking this question. If there is a real city, then okay. If it's talking about the abstract city design that you see posted about the place as kind of an iconography. This is what it could be like. Well, then, yeah, the process for that is slightly different because it's just a drawing essentially. One thing that I probably should have included actually in the answer, although it's not really part of the question, is that the circular city design is just one of many designs, and it isn't going to be the city that we build and make. There's not just going to be a billion or a more reasonable number of circular cities. There will be lots of different city designs. Cool. So, Huey, do you want to answer this, or should I answer it? The next one's a bit longer, so I'll do the next one if you want to do this one.
Me?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, it's better to get more voices on this.
Okay.
So, just the format for yourself when you're reading it off the website. I assume you have the actual FAQ website open in front of you. So if you get that open, get down to the question you want. You then go TVP FAQ 28. Read the question 27. Then read the question and then the answer. Just exactly what is written on the screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me just open the FAQ real quick.
Okay. Nick, would you meet me as well?
What? Sorry.
It's alright, Huey. I'm just muting Aiden. When you've got the answer ready, just let us know and I'll mute myself and then we can only hear you then.
Okay. Right, so 26, right? Oh, it's in Portuguese. We changed the language real quick. Okay. All right. So question 26, FAQ, Venus Project website. Can you briefly describe the process you used in designing the circular city? What factors were most important? The answer is the factors that were most important were to design a self-sufficient system where schools, transportation, housing, agriculture, healthcare, research facilities for innovation, and a productive, healthy lifestyle for all were incorporated into the total design.
Great, man.
Yeah, thanks. Perfect. It's nice to have a bunch of different voices when we finally cut up all the recordings. Cool.
How do we unmute Daniel? Or does he have to do it himself?
I believe he has to do it himself. Maybe I can. Cool. Let's go on to the next question, and then we can have some more fun open talk. 27. What kind of change do you expect in architecture? Interesting question. I'll start us off. I said architecture will no longer be about aesthetics. It will be about function. We are providing the largest amount of services for the people of the city. Architecture will also begin to resemble the technologies available at the time and appropriately designed for the location. If it is in a tornado alley, the building will be different than in a floodplain.
And I said we go from inefficient, wasteful blocks to beautiful, intelligently designed, useful, efficient architecture based on the needs of the culture, but I suppose beautiful is unnecessary, really.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. To me, they would be useful in terms of purely functional.
Yeah.
that to me is the type of beauty. But that's based on our what is it? The cultural values and things that we do.
Yeah.
Yes, with us. So, yeah.
And I think it would probably be tailored to each families or individuals, kind of customized and for their needs. And I think Jacques said that some would have a bigger garage because they do stuff in the garage, and some would have a studio because they like to play music and record music. Some would have a, they would customize based on based on their needs, and that design themselves would be smart houses, and nothing would be probably just there for one function. Like the walls would probably be would absorb solar energy and all kinds of different functionality, I think.
No, that's good. That's a good answer. I think I like it about not just serving one function, having multiple functions. It's very good. Okay, this answer is a bit long, so I'll try and read this answer and try and be natural without rushing it. So give me a second, and then we can open up to more broader discussion if you guys have any questions at all or anything like that. Okay. Mick, if you give me a star and just mute Dan. Good. Perfect, thank you. TVP FAQ 27. What kind of change do you expect in architecture? Ending pollution and waste while keeping a high standard of living will require profound changes in the way that we plan cities and conduct human affairs. While some advocate modifying existing cities and spending lots of time and resources attempting to update them, I find such attempts inadequate. Modification carries a large price in dollars and sustaining resources. Modifying and building onto what we have means supporting older infrastructure and energy requirements. A high cost for operation and maintenance thereof, overall inefficiency and detrimental effects on occupants. It is less expensive to build new cities from the ground up than to restore and maintain old ones, just as it is more efficient to use state-of-the-art production methods than to upgrade obsolete factories. The innovative multi-dimensional circular cities I propose use the most sophisticated resources and construction techniques. The geometrically elegant circular arrangement surrounded by parks and gardens is designed to operate with a maximum expenditure of energy. Is designed to operate with a minimum expenditure of energy while obtaining the highest possible standard of living. The city would use totally clean technology in harmony with the local ecology. When we see a city as a biome that grows and adapts and requires energy, food, water, disposal systems, and arteries for transportation of goods and services, our ideas about space and permanence change dramatically. Our present haphazard growth patterns reflect available space and access rather than cohesive planning. Joining city elements together in a predetermined way conserves energy and provides easy access to all portions of the city. The prefabricated elements comprising the city would be designed to permit modification as needed. As newer materials come online, the city design can be continuously upgraded whilst also keeping in mind new technological and structural progress and evolving human patterns. All systems would be of an emergent nature, constructed to allow maximum latitude in accommodating change. This would permit the city to function as an evolving integrated organism rather than as a static structure. The design and development of these new cities emphasize restoration and protection of the environment. In my view, technology without human concern is meaningless. Well, that was a long one.
Did anybody else glitch halfway through that, or was that just me?
Hopefully it'll be okay. If not, we can go back and re-record these if we need to, or just a sentence that got glitchy. Cool. Nice. So that was quite a good answer, and kind of sums up all three of the above answers questions in terms of how does the cities work and how are they going to be implemented? What are the ideas that are used to design cities? So I guess we'll generally open it up to any questions about the new city and the new design that we haven't really covered, or any questions at all that you guys might have this week.
I've got one about, do you think in like the north and far southern hemispheres where it's colder, do you think they'd be more like hobbit houses, or would they just everybody move down like towards the equator?
Habit houses.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where it was, but I'm pretty sure I've heard Judd talk about, especially when you get in the north, having underground cities.
Oh yeah.
And interestingly, I saw a proposal for an underground city, or at least an underground skyscraper, the other day. They're talking about building it in Mexico. I can't remember which city, but there's a big square basically in somewhere in Mexico, and they want to actually make basically an underground kind of pyramidal shape skyscraper. Basically open in the middle so the sun can actually come down, but people can live on all these different layers down the bottom.
Wow.
I thought it was quite interesting, and it was kind of strange because it's in Mexico, so I thought, also they're obviously not doing it for heat.
Yeah.
In terms of that, and I wonder how much energy they'll need to actually keep it cool.
And drainage, you've got to think about drainage as well. If it starts raining too much.
Oh well, the top is covered.
Oh yeah. Oh cool.
They'd like basically cut out the square, make this thing, and then cover it again with glass.
Ah.
That was part of the design. But yeah, in terms of migration, the other question, I would think people will possibly move towards the equator a little bit more, or kind of bulge around the kind of more habitable, not quite on the equator, but still quite warm and nice areas. But I generally, at least towards the start, I don't know. It's very hard to say if it's going to be all people, barely any people, but at least some people will not really have a home. And they'll move about and go to all these different places. I know I would.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a classic meme going around the internet where, if traveling was free, you'd never see me again.
Yeah.
It's kind of the situation we're at, where people would be able to travel. If there was a global RBE.
I think I'd settle somewhere though. I think I'd travel a lot first, but then I think I'd find a nice spot and then just plonk myself and not want to move ever. Until we started exploring space, and then I'd be on first ship.
Yeah. Hard to say. Like, I am get myself comfortable in one place kind of guy. Like, when I went traveling, I didn't travel really. I went to one place for 3 months and then went to another place for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Basically came home. Because for me, at least, today, traveling is a huge. You can't really account for the amount of expenses you're going to have. You don't know where you're going, all that kind of stuff. I feel like I need to really plan things out and know where I'm going. At least today.
With the Veg Fest, Aidan, when's the next one, and have we got anybody presenting, doing a presentation at it?
Good question. The next one will be in September in London,
Oh, yeah.
and I do not know whether we've got another space or not. That's one I'll ask Christina, see whether we do or not. And probably it will be, if no one is actually there, we'll do the same as happened in Brighton, where Richie, the guy who runs the store, give a little introduction and basically play Paradise or Oblivion.
No.
I think in Brighton they played a little bit of Paradise or Oblivion, and then actually Jacques and Roxanne were there via Skype to give more of a talk and that kind of thing. So hopefully we can do something. I personally don't really fancy doing the talk again.
Yeah.
You know, it's good because it's one of the few things that we do, but
It's just better when there's a lot more people, I think. You know, like, how many were with you when you did your talk, Aidan?
well, people that were there from our group,
Yeah,
there's probably about 6 of us in total.
yeah.
A couple of friends in there.
Yeah.
Don't know. Whenever I think when I was thinking about doing the talk, I was stressing out because I wanted to talk about how veganism is being pushed in a monetary system kind of thing, and you can't really trust superfoods or any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But like then I'm just insulting everyone else who's speaking at the same stage, and the guy is turning it on and everything. So I found it quite stressful to try and ignore that stuff and talk about other things, but still relevant to food. Generally, yeah, I don't know. Sheena will hopefully have news.
I think we could do it like, so, you know, like Tom's band and like a couple of bands to just have like a little festival and then make it more of a social event, you know, rather than like an educational one, and then do like educational bits in between the music.
Yeah, I'd love to do something like that.
And then end on Paradise or Oblivion, you know what I mean? So everybody's chilled out at the end. But it's something we can think about for the future.
Yeah. Well, I need to basically for things like that we need a venue, which can be done, and a lineup.
What about you, Yuri and Dan? Can you guys play any music, or do you do poetry or writing or anything?
No, I don't play any instruments or anything like that.
Well, I play guitar, electric guitar,
Oh, sweet, man.
and a couple of other instruments, more specific, more. There's one called berimbau. Have you heard about berimbau?
No, can you type in the chat box?
Yeah. It's a Brazilian, I think, instrument.
Yeah.
Using capoeira, which it's not a complex instrument. It's one string instrument,
Oh, yeah.
but it's interesting.
I think I seen something similar to that in Thailand, but I don't know whether that was like a violin thing. But I don't know.
Ooh, that is pretty cool. Do you move up and down the ball thing to change the pitch?
Yes, yes,
Oh wow.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
nice.
I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, I haven't been playing for years actually, but I do play. Uh, I know how to play. I mean,
Cool. Whereabouts are you, Hughie? Are you in the UK?
no, I'm in Brazil,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm in Brazil now.
Are you in touch with the Brazilian PvP groups?
Sorry, what?
Are you in touch with the Brazilian points of contact?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
was. Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm just making sure that you knew there were people around you as well.
Yeah,
It's fine if you.
yeah. I was one of the administrators in of the Brazilian page, on Facebook, together with the other two guys. Now there are a couple of more people there, but I had to leave because I had to work, and I I was not having much time. Yeah, sometimes we talk and we update ourselves about the project.
cool. Is Deborah Souza POC now?
Yeah, I think there are two POCs. I think
Oh yeah.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
believe so. Yeah, it's announced one of the candidates moved up or moved along.
yeah.
Another thing, I guess for recording purposes and everything. Nick, well done. You're
Oh
now
yeah.
a point of contact as well. So not just me anymore. We have Nick as a full-time point of contact. Haven't you?
Okay.
And Lourdes is on his way as well, I think now.
He is. Nice. That's good.
That's another thing. I'll have to check the emails again. Did you get a chance to check the emails, Aidan?
No, my computer's being too rubbish.
I tried to like drag and drop the ones I'd replied to into the replied folder, but then I looked in the replied folder and they seemed to disappear, so I don't know what I did. But I've got like a list in like Notepad to explain who I've sent messages to and what I said. So
Yes. So we should probably use those for. I kind of made those folders and used them for a little bit, and then didn't bother because it's only me. So I just, as I read them, replied, and that was fine. But yeah, we should start using those folders. I guess. Did you see the template that I had? The template answer.
I couldn't seem to find it, so I just went to the sent messages and found out, like what you'd sent to them, and just like copied and pasted that and altered if I needed to.
Yeah. That's all. That'll do. It should be. I think it might be in draft section.
Yeah.
But there is something in there, just that with a little blurb. I just tend to try and answer and then paste that. So
Well, that was something I was going to ask as well, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I forgot. We've been telling people to come to the Facebook page for the Hangout link, but is it private now or do you post it on Facebook?
yeah, I think in the new version of the blurb, I include the the Gmail page,
Oh yeah.
and really it should say message that page and you get a link.
So
So maybe actually I do need to update it. But
yeah.
it's cool.
Well, I not got anything else. Has anybody else got anything else?
Pronounce.
Any questions or anything?
Oh,
What do you guys like actually do as points of contact?
Well, main task is looking after the email that we've been talking about, responding to people who email us through there, looking after the Facebook page, and basically putting on these. hangouts every week. The kind of the one thing, the task is the one thing that we have to do, otherwise we'll be revoked of our PSC status, is the emails. The other stuff we try and figure out what we want to do in our group and try and do that. The overall kind of goal or task or philosophy or whatever of the thing is to basically coordinate supporters within the UK. It's generally what mission statement is the corporate stuff, right? And so we're trying to do that in the best way we can.
And I think in the future we'd like to try and organise some events, but I don't think it's easy. I think we need more regulars. Like it's been like me, Aiden, and Ludus for a long time.
Whereabouts is Ludus based? Like, where does he live?
Ludus was in Hull, and now I think he's down Brighton or somewhere. Is that right?
Yeah, I always forget where he is. Yeah, it's somewhere down south.
Everyone's spread out. I don't know.
Yeah. Like there's me, Tom Hockney. Tom's busy with the band, but he used to be POC. Where like Tom's in Hull, so not far away from me.
Yeah, it's kind of like over, I don't know, maybe the 2 years that we've been doing these kind of hangouts regularly. We've kind of generally had one person from every county. It's very, very spread out. There's maybe 4, 5, 6 people that have come and I know are active in London. And that's really the only area where there's a couple people that sometimes meet up and do things. But generally, yeah, we do struggle with everyone is spread out. And not everyone can have access to these hangouts, or this time doesn't work for everyone. So really, it's kind of open in terms of what we do, the way we do it, and we've kind of stumbled across this format, but I think it's nowhere near the best format. We're definitely not getting as much people in and sticking about as we can. And getting this network of people across the UK, which is really where our state of goal is. So, if you guys have ideas about how to improve this, about things that we could possibly be doing, then I'm all ears. Not necessarily now, give me a message. Or generally, that is our goal, and we're trying as well as we can. But basically, it's making up as we go along, kind of time. I'm not. I know myself. I'm not really a personable person. I'm pretty bad at, oh, hello, you're new, making you feel welcome and making you feel all that stuff. It's not really my forte.
I don't know, Eden, you seem pretty good. I've never had any problems.
I've got a lot better since we started, but yeah.
I think Eden normally says that about when things start getting worse, then there might be more and more people coming in. So if there's more people like that know more and more, just educate themselves about the Venus Project and why it's necessary and why the world is the way it is, etc. Then when other people come in, say if there was a flood of people that eventually turned to the Venus Project, if there was me, Aiden, Ludus, and Dan as the UK POCs, then we could have 4 separate hangouts, meaning we'd be able to deal with like 9 people at a time. I don't think it'll go to that, but that's the idea. We've got to be prepared for if there is a flood of people.
It'd be nice to get to a place where we've got more points of contact. Like, for example, in America, I think they have like 1 for each state or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have one for each state. In that a POC in America tends to be a POC for their state. So there's some states where there is no POC.
Alright.
I think in the US we've got maybe up to 10.
Alright.
So yeah, generally they're doing a bit better and they're spread out. Like for instance, although we're technically England, in terms of the email address we've got, at the moment we've kind of taken charge of the UK and Ireland, and so we're kind of covering that at the moment. The idea is hopefully in the end, we'll have a Scottish POC, a Welsh POC, Northern England, Southern England, Northern and the rest of Ireland. So we will end up splitting up into these smaller groups once we get more people. And the good thing again is that, it's good that Nick's now POC. If Lewis gets on, maybe we can start thinking, well, okay, have we got time to do 2 hangouts a week? Is that going to be worth it? Is there going to be people who actually want to come in to these hangouts, or do we need to think about using our time in a different way?
Yeah, at the moment, it's like just those guys, isn't there? There's not many more people.
Yeah, there has been people over the years, and basically I've got more of a mental list of people who have come in, have been interested for a couple of months, and then maybe due to their various side of
people, don't you?
Sorry?
You want like consistency. You want people to comment and stay.
Yeah, well, I can especially back like a year ago, say. I don't know exactly all the times, but basically we didn't really have a real kind of structure in terms of people doing some work beforehand, coming in with questions pre-made about a specific topic. It was kind of, here's a meeting, but we don't really have an agenda. Let's just talk for a little bit and see what people say, get to know you kind of stuff, which is all good every now and again, but it doesn't really engage people over the long run. So we've kind of been playing about with these different formats of trying to get it engaging for the long run. And I don't think we're necessarily there yet, because the FAQ things that we're doing, I think it's quite engaging for us to know about it and stuff. But so last week you guys both turned up for the first time. I had to sit down, I had to explain it to you, and then you hadn't done the homework for that week, which is fine. But like, you kind of didn't really participate in what we were doing, and then it was, oh well, now it's open discussions, and it's kind of the same as this week. So I don't know what you guys can tell me whether you feel that this is engaging the format we're doing or not. As it was kind of us three that would turn up every single week. We didn't really expect any other people to come in. When we kind of got into this format, it was really good for us. But it might not be good for the people first joining. So we're trying to weigh this up.
Well, it at least gives you something to talk about each week. If you didn't do that, I'm not sure what exactly you would talk about.
Yeah, we have done things in the past, say, where we find a 10 to 15 minute video, watch it together at the start of the hangout, and then have a discussion or other things. But basically what I was saying is that I've got this list of people I know are fairly, and at least showing some interest in coming to our hangouts, have come to a couple of them, maybe dropped out. Maybe not all of them will be interested in doing stuff again, but I know someone in Newcastle, Troy, and he didn't have too much time to really get into these hangouts, and now he's got a new job which demands a lot of his time, so he doesn't really have that capacity to really do a whole lot at the moment. But if someone else turns up and they're like, oh, I'm from Newcastle, I can go, hey, you can speak to my man Troy, and then you can at least have some friends in your area who are interested in the same thing you can talk to them about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be nice if everyone was here every week, but we only have 9, not including me, we only have 9 spaces in a hangout. So feasibly, if we start getting 8, 9, 10 every week coming, and people are going, hey, I can't get in, then we need to rethink about how we're going to do it. Maybe go to TeamSpeak and have because in TeamSpeak you can have infinite number of people, that kind of thing. Yeah, really the goal, the main goal that I want to do is to get people in contact with each other and to start making this network of you can at least talk to people. Like if you don't like me for some reason or other, fine. You can talk to other people who are out in there in our team that you get along with, maybe even more in your local area. And then we start building this network of people like a spider web, so that as more people fall in, we can pick up more people that are starting to look and actually get them into this kind of environment, which is a little bit more controlled, because me and Nick have gone through a certain degree of not education,
Orientation.
To the directions, try and keep it on track, basically, and then we know where all the information is that people should be looking at, rather than going through various spin-offs of TVP and all that kind of thing. So I can't remember what the question was, but does that kind of...
I can't remember either.
Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
What I think's cool as well is like when people have visited each other, like Aiden's visited us, and I think Sheena, and then I visited John, Joseph, and I would making plans next year for John Joseph to visit me, maybe try and get Troy down. It's good to mingle. But yeah, like
just to get people together and socialise, get to know each other.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
That's it. It was really good. I think last year I had to go to somewhere for something or other. I think it was Manchester for my grandma's birthday, and so I decided to just do a little kind of round trip of some of my uni friends who are up in that area, and I dropped in on Nick, dropped in on Sheena, and it's really good. I've really damn good. And I want to do that again, basically, and try and this time maybe, I don't know. I've got some time to take off from work. I try and organise something like a road trip and make it a bit more of a flashy campaign, lots of pictures. Sorry, I'm kind of babbling, talking to myself.
Sorry, dude, I'm answering questions on Facebook. Right, I'm going to shoot off, guys, because I'm getting pestered.
Yeah, that's all right, mate. Thanks for coming.
Right. See you later, man.
See you next week, guys.
See you next week.
See you. Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah, I'll head off as well, and that's with you guys. Have kind of anything else you want to say or ask or anything like that today?
No, I'm good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I'll take that means you're okay. So, if you can come next week, I hope you do.
Yeah.
If you can, save the link for that document.
How do I do that?
Spreadsheet. So just load it in your browser. I mean, save it as a bookmark, however you normally do in your browser.
All right.
And then, if you can, before the next week's hangout, just scroll down and find the next 3 questions, which will be 8 to 9:30. And just, if you can, in the boxes next to it, just see the format we've done, put your name, and then just attempt an answer.
Yeah.
If you can beforehand, and then we can discuss them all together next weekend.
Yeah.
Or next week. Brilliant. All right, thanks for coming again, guys. Been good.
No problem. See you later.
See you later.
See you.